I think it's safe to say that change is on my agenda. Change for good. And I embrace that and I enjoy that change. I don't fear it.
Rumors that Harry and Meghan were preparing to return to the royal family, leaked from within their own residence, prompted Prince William to declare that they were not welcome and that he would strip Meghan of her royal title once he became king. Refusing to back down, Meghan immediately launched a ruthless media campaign using succession-related claims and toxic accusatory documents to directly attack both her brother-in-law's honor and his parenting methods. This royal power struggle instantly turned family bonds into a life-or-death confrontation, triggering a series of brutal retaliatory strikes as Prince William fought back by unleashing shocking evidence of Meghan's wild and scandalous past into the battle. The question is William truly a toxic father who raises his children as poorly as Meghan claims, and who will ultimately emerge victorious in this merciless war of royal power and media manipulation? Stay tuned to uncover the entire shocking truth hidden behind the palace doors. It all began with insider information leaking directly from Harry and Meghan's residence. Well-informed royal sources quietly passed around reports of private conversations, revealing that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex had been secretly discussing and planning a return to the British royal family. These leaked details spread at lightning speed and quickly reached the ears of senior members inside Buckingham Palace, triggering an extremely tense wave of internal reactions. Immediately after receiving the news, Prince William responded with remarkable firmness and absolute candor. Without the slightest hesitation, he issued a direct declaration that both he personally and the royal family would sever all social ties, associations, and contact of any kind with Harry and Meghan. The prince stated with certainty and complete seriousness that the British royal family would never reopen its doors to welcome the couple back. But William did not stop there. He went on to make an extraordinarily forceful and uncompromising pledge before the entire palace establishment. He declared that the very first thing he would do upon officially ascending the throne and becoming king would be to permanently strip Meghan Markle of her royal title without the slightest concession or compromise. William's hardline decision immediately drew a clear boundary, shattered every remaining hope of a family reunion, and pushed the relationships within the royal family into open confrontation. The prince's declaration effectively slammed the palace doors shut, driving the conflict to its peak and making the atmosphere surrounding the monarchy more suffocating than ever as the news reached the other side of the Atlantic. How would Meghan respond to this merciless declaration and Prince William's uncompromising threat to strip away her royal status? In response to Prince William's decision to cut all ties and his uncompromising declaration, Meghan Markle flew into a furious rage. Her anger reached its peak when she realized that the door back into the royal family had been slammed shut without mercy. Unwilling to accept defeat, Meghan took the initiative to contact William directly to vent her fury and issue a series of explosive warnings. During this tense exchange, Meghan Markle bluntly delivered a direct threat to the Prince of Wales. "You will face a terrible ending if you continue treating me with such coldness, selfishness, and arrogance. Don't think you can stand at the pinnacle of power and keep oppressing my children and me forever." She did not stop at making empty threats. Meghan immediately laid all her cards on the table and presented a series of ultimatum-like demands. She loudly insisted that William change the established order, demanding that he grant her children, Archie and Lilibet, a special priority position in the line of succession to the British throne. Meghan firmly declared that her children deserved that supreme privilege and that William had a responsibility to restructure the succession in order to compensate for the suffering her family had endured. Yet in the face of his sister-in-law's fury and unreasonable demands, Prince William remained unwavering. He showed absolutely no sign of hesitation, nor was he shaken by any of her threats. Instead, William flatly and decisively rejected every one of Meghan's demands, freezing all possibilities for further negotiation. After being harshly and humiliatingly rejected by William, Meghan Markle immediately launched a ruthless act of retaliation. Without the slightest regard for family ties, she contacted media outlets and released a series of confidential documents designed to carry out a vicious smear campaign. Across the media, Meghan openly accused Prince William of being a father whose parenting methods were fundamentally flawed and toxic. In the leaked documents, she bluntly declared, "William is not the exemplary father he tries so hard to portray before the public. Behind palace doors, he is someone who frequently loses his temper, cannot control his emotions, and constantly takes out his anger on those poor children for no reason at all." Meghan argued that William's emotionally abusive and deeply misguided parenting style had directly damaged his children's psychological well-being, causing them to become spoiled and morally distorted from the very cradle of royal life. Meghan's media offensive became more vicious than ever when she deliberately zeroed in on Prince George, the eldest son of William and the future King of England. Throughout her allegations, Meghan repeatedly emphasized that George was the flawed product of his parents' toxic parenting methods. Her retaliatory strike had been calculated with extraordinary precision, deliberately weaving in real-life rumors surrounding Prince George. These included reports leaked from his school, suggesting that George was entering adolescence and had begun displaying increasingly stubborn and difficult behavior, even engaging in rebellious actions and challenging his classmates. Meghan Markle fully exploited these real-life details, transforming them into a powerful weapon for her media campaign. She argued that George's stubborn behavior at school was not simply a normal phase of adolescence, but the direct consequence of repeatedly being subjected to his father's temper and emotional outbursts. By making these accusations publicly through the media, Meghan triggered a massive earthquake of public opinion, thrusting William's reputation as a father and Prince George's public image into the center of a severe crisis. Meghan's hatred and determinations for revenge had turned a personal conflict into an all-out public media war, a direct assault on the future line of succession of the Wales family. Faced with this vicious smear campaign aimed directly at the image of his eldest son, Prince George, what will Prince William do to protect his family and respond to Meghan's arrogant defiance? Faced with the vicious and baseless smear campaign aimed directly at his family's parenting methods and the future of Prince George, Prince William was outraged and deeply angered. Unable to remain silent in the face of such a ruthless attack, he immediately contacted Meghan Markle and issued an ultimatum demanding that she take down the false and defamatory claims from every media platform without delay. During the call, William sternly warned, "Meghan, these filthy accusations targeting my children have crossed every acceptable line. I demand that you remove every single one of those defamatory materials immediately before this goes any further." Yet instead of responding to her brother-in-law's justified outrage, Meghan Markle remained arrogant, defiant, and completely uncooperative. She bluntly challenged the Prince of Wales and refused his demand outright, pushing the royal relationship into a dead end from which there appeared to be no return. Realizing that his restraint had been met only with greater arrogance, Prince William decided to launch a devastating counterstrike to defend his family's honor. Rather than continuing to argue behind closed doors, he chose to go public by releasing a series of explosive pieces of evidence on social media concerning Meghan Markle's past. The collection included photographs depicting her wild partying and extravagant lifestyle during her younger years before she entered the royal family, with certain sensitive details carefully blurred. Alongside the shocking images, Prince William issued a public statement declaring before the world, "This is the real reason I could never tolerate, accept, or allow this woman to return to the royal family. Her past lifestyle and moral character are fundamentally incompatible with our core values, and the monarchy cannot accommodate someone like her." William's direct and unexpected counterattack sent the media into a frenzy, cornering Meghan Markle beneath an avalanche of public scrutiny. She was immediately forced to respond publicly in a desperate attempt to salvage her rapidly collapsing reputation. In an emotionally charged statement, Meghan loudly denied every allegation while shifting the blame back onto her brother-in-law. Every single one of the partying and scandalous photographs posted by Prince William is completely fabricated. They are nothing more than manipulated and doctored images created by William himself for the sole purpose of attacking my reputation, destroying my credibility, and humiliating me before the British public. She insisted that she was the victim of a systematic smear campaign orchestrated by the palace to conceal William's own failures as a father. Refusing to let Meghan continue manipulating public opinion with unsupported denials, Prince William took an exceptionally professional and decisive step. Instead of becoming trapped in an endless war of words across social media, he immediately enlisted leading technology and media experts to conduct an independent investigation and forensic analysis. The objective of the examination was to verify with complete transparency and thoroughness the authenticity of both sets of evidence: Meghan's documents accusing William of abusive parenting and William's collection of photographs exposing Meghan's scandalous past. William's decisive move officially pushed this media war into a new phase one in which science and verifiable evidence rather than accusations would determine the truth, leaving the public holding its breath as they awaited the final conclusions from the independent specialists. What truth would the independent technology experts ultimately uncover, and who would be forced to bow before evidence that could no longer be denied? After a short period of forensic examination and in-depth analysis using advanced technical methods, the independent technology and media experts officially released their final conclusions. The results came as no surprise, exposing the complete truth behind the media tactics that had fueled the controversy. Upon receiving the official report, Prince William wasted no time. He immediately ordered the findings to be published across the royal family's official platforms, accompanied by a firm and direct public statement. Quoted from Prince William's public declaration accompanying the release of the findings, "The truth possesses a power of its own and cannot be distorted by lies. Today, the conclusions reached by independent experts have clearly demonstrated that every document Meghan circulated accusing me of abusive parenting is entirely baseless, lacking any concrete evidence or verifiable foundation. By contrast, the entire collection of photographs I released from her past consists of authentic original images with absolutely no signs of editing, manipulation, fabrication, or digital alteration, contrary to her previous and unreasonable denials. I am proud to affirm that my family and I have always raised our children in the best possible environment, one filled with love, stability, and care." The conclusions from the independent experts dealt a devastating blow to Meghan Markle's smear campaign. Their report stated that the documents Meghan had presented were nothing more than fragmented pieces of information built upon one-sided speculation, completely lacking the legal evidence and factual data required to substantiate any of her accusations. Meanwhile, the authenticity of the photographs depicting her wild and extravagant younger years was fully confirmed through examinations of image encoding and metadata, completely dismantling her claims that Prince William had fabricated evidence to tarnish the reputation of his sister-in-law. At the same time, in order to further reinforce the forensic findings and defend the prince's reputation, longtime palace staff also chose to break their silence and publicly confirm the truth. These first-hand witnesses, who had personally observed the daily life of the Wales family for years, provided remarkably valuable testimony before the public. They unanimously confirmed that Prince William and Princess Kate had consistently and rigorously adhered to their long-established principles of family education. According to the palace staff's consistent accounts, throughout the years of raising their 3 royal children, William and Kate had one unwavering rule: they would never shout at, yell at, or lose their temper with their children under any circumstances. Whenever one of the children misbehaved or displayed stubborn, disobedient behavior, the only approach they adopted was to separate the child into a quiet space where parent and child could calmly sit together and talk. They patiently explained the nature of the mistake, helped the child understand why the behavior was wrong, and guided them toward correcting it. At no point, they emphasized, did the prince and princess ever resort to physical punishment, harsh discipline, or the uncontrolled outbursts of anger that Meghan had accused them of. The unanimous and consistent testimony from those inside the palace combined perfectly with the scientific findings of the independent technology experts, formed an unshakable wall of evidence that brought the truth fully into the light, proving William's integrity and exemplary character, while exposing Meghan Markle's deception and calculated manipulation before the entire public. Now that every false mask had been stripped away by science and eyewitness testimony alike, what fate awaited Meghan Markle in the face of the overwhelming outrage of the British public? Once the technology experts officially released their forensic findings and the testimony from deep inside the palace came to light, the truth stood fully exposed before the court of public opinion. Every mask of deception and every scheme Meghan Markle had used to manipulate the media was mercilessly stripped away. Almost immediately, a media earthquake erupted across Britain, unleashing a wave of public outrage, unlike anything seen in the modern history of the British royal family. The British public, who had previously been left confused and under intense pressure, now overwhelmingly turned their support toward Prince William, while launching a widespread and uncompromising boycott campaign against Meghan on every front. From social media platforms and online forums to live interviews conducted on the streets of London, British citizens repeatedly expressed their contempt and anger over the Duchess of Sussex's malicious smear campaign. Public opinion united behind a series of forceful statements, driving the boycott movement to its peak. A representative of a royal fan community in London angrily declared before television cameras, "Meghan Markle's actions are completely unforgivable. She used the dirtiest lies imaginable to attack a child, to target Prince George and Prince William's parenting, all in pursuit of her own selfish ambitions. The people of Britain stand united in declaring that Meghan should never be welcomed back to this country. Stay away from our royal family forever." The backlash did not stop there. Across every major social media platform, millions of boycott messages spread at extraordinary speed, becoming the collective voice of the public. British citizens declared in unison, "The truth has prevailed. Science and eyewitness testimony have proven everything. Meghan Markle has buried her own reputation with a cheap smear campaign. We will boycott every product, every program, and every piece of content featuring this deceitful woman. She tried to destroy an exemplary royal family, and now it is time for her to pay the price for her arrogance and conceit." This overwhelming and unified public reaction became an impenetrable wall, cutting off every possible avenue of escape and completely extinguishing Meghan's remaining hope of restoring her public image. The consequences of the nationwide boycott pushed Meghan Markle into a state of complete collapse and isolation. Every plan and media strategy she had carefully built to pave her way back into the royal family shattered into countless pieces. Inside the walls of her secluded residence, however, the emotional collapse unfolding behind closed doors proved even more devastating than the public could imagine. The woman who had once projected unwavering confidence before cameras now found herself overwhelmed by a storm of disbelief, humiliation, and growing desperation. Every headline condemning her, every televised discussion questioning her credibility, and every wave of criticism flooding social media seemed to echo endlessly through her mind. The certainty that had fueled her confrontation with Prince William gradually gave way to a haunting realization that events were spiraling beyond anything she had anticipated. As the official forensic findings continued dominating the news cycle, Meghan reportedly struggled to convince herself that the situation could still be reversed. She repeatedly revisited every decision that had led to the confrontation, attempting to identify where everything had begun to unravel. In her mind, what had started as a carefully calculated media offensive designed to pressure the royal family had somehow transformed into a relentless public trial against her own character. Every attempt to defend herself only appeared to deepen the criticism, while every denial was immediately overshadowed by newly reinforced evidence and testimony emerging from within palace circles. The growing silence around her became impossible to ignore. Conversations that had once filled her days with ambitious plans and strategic discussions were replaced by long hours of uncertainty. Confidence slowly dissolved into frustration, and frustration evolved into quiet fear as she realized that public sympathy was slipping further away with every passing day. The future she had imagined, one in which mounting pressure might eventually force the royal family to compromise, now seemed to disappear before her eyes. Instead of gaining leverage, she found herself increasingly isolated as support continued to evaporate from every direction. For the first time since the conflict had erupted, Meghan was forced to confront the possibility that this battle could not simply be won through persistence or media strategy alone. The overwhelming combination of independent expert conclusions, palace testimony, and rapidly shifting public opinion had created an obstacle that could no longer be dismissed as temporary criticism. Surrounded by an atmosphere of growing isolation and uncertainty, she could only watch as the narrative she had fought so hard to shape steadily slipped beyond her control, leaving behind an unmistakable sense that the consequences of this confrontation were becoming irreversible. Meghan herself never imagined that the retaliation she had so confidently prepared would become the very weapon that turned against her and destroyed her own future. She now faced rejection not only from the public and the media, but also from major business partners, plunging her into the worst existential crisis of her life. Now in complete solitude, Meghan Markle found herself entirely isolated from both the royal world and Britain's social elite. Her reputation had been so severely damaged that it could no longer be repaired. Under the relentless weight of public condemnation and the cold rejection of the entire nation, her spirit was utterly broken. The sophisticated media campaign she had initiated ultimately ended in humiliating defeat, leaving her alone, stripped of everything, and forced to bear what was portrayed as the harshest punishment delivered by justice and the trust of the public. The shocking royal conflict came to a close with the truth and justice emerging as the undisputed victors, leaving behind a powerful lesson about the price that must ultimately be paid for deception and calculated manipulation. Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also click on the next video showing on your screen. You'll enjoy it.